Hey everyone, I'm super happy to announce that I was finally able to collaborate in a big way with one of my favorite brands, drawing brands of all time, Pentel of Japan. And this collaboration will take the form of a box that contains all of my favorite drawing instruments that you can purchase and obtain them all at the same time. Yes, I'm super excited for this, and I really want to emphasize how much this collaboration is something that I really wanted to do for a long time. I have seen other artists do collaboration boxes with other brands, some type of, the artist gives his or her image to a product. But for this one, because I've been a long time user of Pentel products since 2016, if I'm not mistaken, when I first bought my first brush pen from Pentel, a Pentel GKFP, if I'm not mistaken, the Pentel brush pen that is the pocket brush pen, that's the name, the simpler name to say. So I've been a long time user of Pentel products. And throughout the years, especially in 2020-ish, when my Instagram started to, my social media presence, let's say, really started to blossom and develop. Pentel has always been there, their brush pens, their fine liners, their point liners. So from there, naturally, a collaboration started to take place with Pentel Switzerland. I'm based in Switzerland, for those unaware. A collaboration started to take place, which I was really excited for as well, because it just made sense, putting two and two together. I draw a lot with Pentel brushes. I draw a lot with Pentel point liners currently. So it just made sense for some type of collaboration to occur, some type of interaction to occur. But I'm talking all the way from 2019 when I first came to Switzerland, all that adaptation, to really starting to collaborate with Pentel, doing a couple of events, drawing for Pentel, and all that. For this idea, this product came along from Pentel Switzerland. The idea was to have a box set, a compilation of my favorite Pentel pens, all in a nifty package that felt, I don't want to say lavish, but felt cool to have, with a custom illustration, especially for the box. And each of the pens would be chosen by myself. So this is my selection from the extensive Pentel catalog that they have available in Europe. I do want to emphasize that these are products that are available in Pentel, in Europe and Pentel. There's a selection as well available in Japan that's a bit wider, but those are Japanese specific products. For this initial box, we are focusing on products available in Pentel in Europe. If it turns out well, why not expand to products, bring some of the Japanese domestic only products to the European market, maybe through this box, but I'm just, I'm hallucinating now. The box contains a selection of the pens. The box itself contains 14 pens and 3 erasers. And when I say pens, it's a combination of a mechanical pencil, a couple of ballpoint pens, point liners, and brush pens. And I'll talk about each one in a bit as well. There's also 3 erasers as well from the Pentel catalog, because if you're gonna draw, you might need to erase as well. That's the whole idea. The box itself, as of right now, as I'm speaking right now, is not yet available for sale. We are nearing the end of this development part, which is also lengthy on its own way. It's not just selecting the pens and it's all said and done. There's a lot of back and forth, including the design, the pens themselves. We went through multiple iterations of which pens I wanted. Here a couple of critical essential items, as well as some extra items that could be cool to have as well, that I use as well. So a lot of back and forth there. And also, yeah, just the layout of the box, what's inside, as I said before, and also very important, the drawings that would be adorning the box itself. And here I'm going to start showing the making of the drawing of the cover. It is a custom drawing made especially for this box, that I'm super happy with the end result. And one thing that I might do when the box is released is that perhaps I'll do a giveaway either to the main drawing or to the prep sketches that were made for the drawing. There were multiple prep sketch brainstorming ideas, what works, what doesn't work. So I have all of those laid here in my desk. So the idea perhaps could be to have them as part of a giveaway. You get the box and also a prep sketch, make it real special for the giveaway. So that's a couple of ideas that I'm jolly in my head. You can also see that I'm talking off script for this whole for this whole video. That's very much my style. But yeah, the drawing itself, I would love to describe it to you while you see the footage of me drawing it. It is essentially a drawing that it's very much in line with what my drawing for my sketchbook volume 1 that was made available for sale back in 2023, where the cover were a couple of people inside the train just reading my book and all the happiness, and they were happy to have it, happy to see it, they were cool with it. The same idea for this drawing, where the whole idea was to showcase first and foremost one of my all-time favorite drawing instrument, which is the Pentel brush pen. Simply the best. So yeah, additional dream, additional hallucination. Maybe in the future, a custom pen, that would be cool. But yeah, moving along. The whole idea was to put the brush pen first, in highlight, with a character grabbing the pen or showcasing the pen, and a couple of effects around it. The character is happy, so that was the whole idea. In the background, the idea was because this product, as of time of recording, and the initial plans is that the box will be made available only for purchase in Switzerland, but we will try to see a way to also make it available for people outside of Switzerland, because the idea is that also for me and also for everyone that follows me, my audience is pretty much, it's a global audience, because I speak in English. Even though I'm in Switzerland, my posts, my social media presence is not in French or in German or Italian, it's in English. So I do attract a sizable international following, and the bulk, 90% of the messages that I get are in English. So the whole idea was that we will try to make it available as well for purchase outside of Switzerland, but for the beginning it's going to be a Swiss exclusive. But at the time of recording, I'm recording this in June. The product is scheduled to be made available around September, so things could change until then. And definitely I will have the giveaways as well for any international followers. Some way will be found to also make the product available for the international community. I'm not too big on intentional scarcity. I like people to have the product if they want it. That's the whole plan. But yeah, going back to the drawing itself that you are still seeing here, and funny enough, making a bit of a detour. This is the prototype of the pen. This was what initially Pentel proposed to me, Pentel Switzerland, and they've been super cool about it. This was the initial prototype that you see, and they actually used this drawing, which is the drawing that is the cover of my sketchbook. So we were thinking along the same lines, a drawing highlighting joy and, you know, just people being happy with whatever it is that they have or that they acquired or something like that. Even better if it's a product with my name, right? You know, so let's go. And they also put, so the design, the final design doesn't change a whole much from this. What changes is they put a suggestion of products when they sent me this prototype that then I changed a bit. I changed around. Essentially I demanded what I wanted from the Pentel Europe catalog. They got a lot of things right, Pentel Switzerland, because of course they pay attention to my Instagram account. So they know more or less what it is that I like, but I also made a couple of suggestions that they weren't expecting, and I'll get to that in a bit. They also put this photo, which is the photo where I go about from my social media presence. Funny enough, this photo was taken at the Pentel Japan headquarters, right in front of it, just after a meeting that I had with Pentel Japan all the way back in 2023. And I can talk about this meeting in a bit as well while you see footage of me drawing. So yeah, this is the prototype, super cool. There's also the drawing inside. They all created this based on my content, so that was super great to see. Text in English and also German and French, as well as a couple of QR codes that they are suggesting. This was the prototype that we had discussed all the way back either in February or March 2025. And then you see the cardboard inside separating the different products. This idea carried out to the final product as well. Coming back to the sketch that you're still seeing, I went back and forth through multiple ideas. The main idea was always to have the one of the drawing pens first and foremost. That was going to be the focus. And then I juggled with, okay, the drawing, or rather the box, it's going to be a Swiss exclusive. So probably it makes sense to add a couple of Swiss specific elements either to the characters or to the background. So that was my thinking going into the drawing. I also didn't want to make it too confusing, too visually busy. So I said I'm going to restrict myself to either 2 or 3 characters, not more. I could have made a scene with 10 characters, but because of the real estate that I had available in terms of the background, of the white background that you see in the prototype box, the whole idea was to keep it as clear, legible as possible, because the box also had to display first the items inside the box, the photo, my name, so that you see, you know, it's the product that Marcio promotes, advertises, recommendations as well. This is what he recommends. So a lot of space being juggled in the front of the box. So with that, the selection was made to 3 characters. For the character in the front, actually, I asked my wife to model a bit, juggling different ideas, what would make sense. In the end, we settled with a bit of a foreshortening technique, with the hand that's grabbing the pen pushed a bit forward, you know, doing a bit of foreshortening there, and thus increasing the size of the brush pen in display. Then I discussed as well multiple ideas for the clothing, and I ended up with the shirt and a bit of what's the name of the piece? I forgot the name of the piece, how you say in English, so apologies. But that was the whole idea for the character in front. For the characters in the background, I actually consider adding some fantastical elements from Swiss mythology, lore, to make it, you know, clearly Swiss, or in reverence to, not reverence, but, you know, in respect to the country. But initially I actually considered making a character that you could see or perhaps think that is, what's the name of the character? Heidi. you could see, oh, maybe it's Heidi from the Alps. You might, because it's a Swiss history by a Swiss author. Everyone knows it from the anime that it was adapted into, but it's originally a Swiss story. I juggled back and forth between that concept, that idea, a couple of ideas, but then I thought, okay, maybe I removed any character that, you know, might have copyright, even though the copyright expired, but might have, you know, someone owns the rights to that character. So I just kept it character free. I added my own characters. And then it just struck me that why not? It's the best thing to do, I think, to add my daughter in the box drawing as well. Not that I wish for her to also draw like me, far from it. She will do whatever she wants in terms of hobby. She will be exposed to drawing because I draw, so she will see me drawing, she sees me drawing. But I thought it was a cool idea to put her in the box drawing as well. Something, you know, with the tongue out, super, how do you say it? I say in French, coquine, you know, super, yeah, super coquine. Go Google that. In the drawing, she's sitting up. As of recording, she still doesn't sit up. She crawls. She's getting close to giving the first steps. So by the time the box is released to the public, she will be walking. So that's pretty cool. I also put her name on the T-shirt that she's wearing while she's drawing. And fun fact, you will notice in the drawing that she's actually drawing with her left hand, because as of recording, again, me and my wife, we do note that Olivia, the name of my daughter, she does prefer to use her left hand when eating, for example. So maybe she's left-handed. So with that in mind, I put her drawing with the left hand on the book, and she's drawing a cat, a reference to my lovely two cats, Pudding and Cookie, that I love dearly. So the whole box is just things that I love, right? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. The box, you buy the box, you get a piece of what is it that I like, what is it that I love. You get all of these references, and you get all these amazing Pentel brushes and pens that I use practically daily. Just go on my Instagram, you know, it's and YouTube as well. It's loaded with videos of me using it. Yeah. For the background, then I decided to add the third character, a boy, just also drawing as well. The whole idea was to have characters in the front of the box, either enjoying the Pentel product or drawing with it. And if you're drawing, you're probably enjoying it as well, right? For the background is when I decided to add the Swiss-specific elements. The building in the background that I drew is actually one of the buildings, a photo that I took of one of the buildings in Lausanne, the city where I live. It's very much old European style with the limestone. So I thought, okay, infuse a bit of European architecture, Swiss architecture, old Swiss architecture, because modern Swiss architecture is just boxes for whatever reason. But old architecture with a lot of balconies, a lot of ornate elements to give it, you know, my European influences there. Even though the style, you can call it a manga style, the background is European influenced. And then on the sides, I added a couple of buildings just in reference to Pentel, a couple of billboards with the English logo, and then the Pentel written in Hiragana, Pentaru. That's that added there as a reference to Pentel, even though they are already referenced in the corner of the box. But I thought it was a cool idea to add it there. I initially debated on adding the Pentel headquarters building in Japan, but I thought that's too Japan specific. The box is for European market, so let's make it relatable to people. Let's also make it relatable to people in Switzerland. And then as a final element to touch up the drawing, I added mountains, because that's what exists here in Switzerland, mountains. I added a couple mountains. It's no mountain in specific, it's just some mountains. And it also adds a nice element where it breaks up the clean white spaces by adding a lot of ink to an element in the background. The clouds that were added on the mountain definitely influenced by the cover of the Game Boy Advance game Link's Awakening. So that was something that I decided to add. Initially, I also debated on adding the egg that's on the top of the mountain. If you play the game or if you see the cover, you will know the reference, but it's just an egg, a big egg at top of the mountain. But then I refrained from doing that in the final drawing. Okay, let's go, because in Switzerland, there are no eggs in the mountains. There's snow and skiing usually, so there's no eggs. So that was the whole idea. Keep it clean, approachable, and just people look at it and say, oh, that's the mountain. Oh, because it's in Switzerland. Oh, that's old European building, because we are in Europe, and all the historic centers look like that. And hey, characters, because characters also draw attention to product, right? That's why marketing has people on it, and also that's what I prefer to draw. And again, it's a very realistic drawing in the sense that, again, it's very much my style. I don't draw fantasy a whole lot. I draw slice of life scenes, and this could be a drawing that you see in one of my sketchbooks, you know, just people trying pens and drawing. I have a couple of those in my sketchbooks. I'll try to post them here. Yeah, let's talk about, where do I go next? Yeah, let's talk about let's talk about my trip to Pentel, Japan. I think that's a fun history to tell. I'll also interspace some photos here of the whole thing, because I don't think I ever talked about it. But back in 2023, I went to Japan on a personal trip with my wife. It was a blast. We stayed in Tokyo, we stayed in Kyoto as well. On my way to Switzerland, on my way to Japan, Tokyo, we stayed in Akihabara. I actually sent a message to Pentel Japan saying, hey, can we meet? I love you guys. I love you guys. And keep in mind, at the time, I already had an informal collaboration with Pentel Switzerland ongoing. I did a couple of events for them. So there was something already there with the Swiss branch of Pentel. Nothing with the Pentel Japan offices. They liked a couple of my posts in the past, but never any type of exchange. So I arrived in Tokyo, me and my wife just starting visiting the town, big town, of course, having a lot of fun, visiting a lot of shops, all that you do in Tokyo, eating food. And Pentel Japan actually came back to me saying, yeah, we could meet. Definitely, we could meet. They took a couple of days to get back to me. And this is funny. What happened was that I saw the message. They actually reached out to the Swiss branch. They reached out to the Swiss branch, essentially asking, who is this guy? Do you know him? He's saying he's from Switzerland, he likes to meet, yada, yada, yada. Who is this guy? And the Swiss offices then replied to the Japanese offices saying, yeah, he's with us, With us, I mean, he collaborates with us, right? So they actually, they sent a message saying, yeah, we can meet, let's meet. So the next day or so, we were setting up the day where I would go to visit them. I also asked, by the way, can I also bring my wife? Keep in mind that at the time, Pentel, the pandemic was still a bit of a fresher memory than it is today. So a couple of considerations for bringing another person with me, my wife, to the visit. But yeah, everything was arranged. It was after lunch. I was a bit nervous, not gonna lie, heading to the offices. Before the heading there, I think in the morning I went to either Sekaido or Itoya. I don't recall exactly, I think it was Itoya. I went to Itoya and I bought in Ginza. I bought a Seiko watch in Ginza to essentially celebrate I'm Japan. It's so cool, and also I'm going to meet the makers of my favorite brushes. So I'm excited. Let's commemorate. So I bought a watch there, a Seiko. And then on the day of the visit to the Japanese offices, to the Japanese headquarters, me and my wife, we went to have lunch at a ramen place there that was for, it's a business area, it's not a tourist area. So a lot of office workers there as well. I don't usually drink, but for that time I did drink a beer just because I was slightly nervous, an Asahi beer. And then after we ate, I prepared the drawing there on the spot as well on a shikishi board to give to the Japanese Pentel colleagues. And then off we went to the office, which was, I believe, either on the last floor or second last floor. Everyone there was super nice. I'll have some photos of the event here. Well, not the event, of the meeting there. Everyone was super nice. They prepared the presentation for the for the meeting. Essentially, at the time they thought I was Swiss, so the initial slide of the meeting presentation was the Swiss mountains, and I did tell them I'm Portuguese, but it's cool, you know, you don't know. They were, oh no, we need to change to something Portuguese. No need. And the meeting went super smooth, but we just talked about Pentel products, my perception of the European market, how it differs from the Asian market in regards to stationery. They gave me a lot of insight into the manufacturing of the Pentel products, of the brushes. They gave me a lot of Pentel products. They wanted to give me more, actually. They wanted to give me boxes and boxes of stuff. But the baggage, of course, I need to be mindful of that. The trip wasn't ended yet, and I still needed to go shopping, right? So I accepted a whole lot of gifts, but you know, I had to say no to a few of them just because I didn't have storage space when it was time to return. But yeah, super cool. It was also an opportunity for me to speak a bit of Japanese. At the time I had the N5 certification, then I studied all the way up to N4, so it was also helpful to guide the meeting as well, but they spoke perfect English as well. So the meeting was such a breeze, super fun. And yeah, at the time I did say, you know, maybe we could, why not collaborate on something back in 2023, you know, do a product together, do something. But yeah, why don't we collaborate on something for the European market, you know, look at my numbers, marketing, people seem to enjoy what I do. So the idea was left in a bit of a, there's a nice term for it in Portuguese, which is called fish waters. It was just laid flat, you know, we talked about it, could be cool, you know, but at the time they were not exploring that actively for collaboration with different artists. And yeah, we went our separate ways, me and Pentel Japan, but I still kept a collaborating energy with Pentel Switzerland and made multiple events, appearances, you know, all that. Fast forward to 2025 is when the idea finally came about from Pentel Switzerland. Okay, let's do something together. Let's do something physical together. Let's do a product together. And the idea, outside of the possibility of doing a custom pen or custom product, I don't think that's yet the time to do, even though I have ideas. The idea was, let's work on a box set. Pentel Switzerland, Marcio Barra, make it available for the public. You choose the products, we sell it, we package and we sell it, which dream scenario for me, right? Because shipping products and the logistics of it, oof, I can tell you it's not easy as someone who has shipped multiple products. But yeah, this program is something that they already did in the USA. They have a box set there with Carrie Walker, a US-based artist. Her box set is a bit different than mine in the sense that it's more for journaling and lettering. It's a pretty cool box set. If you live in the US, I'm hopeful that you can acquire a box for you to check it out as well. It even comes with stickers, but I find it really neat that it has all of these colors depending on the mood that you want to give your journal. So that's where the inspiration for this product initially came from that box set in the US with Carrie Walker. But hers is journaling and lettering, right? Mine would be for illustration, which I find bold from Pentel Switzerland as well. Lettering is pretty big in the German side of Switzerland. Drawing, not so much. So they probably could have gone and went with a lettering artist, and they might go a journaling artist and propose a box set from there using products that are more made for writing, like for example the Cyan pen. So they went bold and they decided, no, let's go with a box set for drawing instruments. So yeah, pretty stoked to be the one that will kickstart this process in Switzerland and have a box set available with my face on it. Yeah, hopefully my photo doesn't scare away people, it brings them in. Yeah, pretty excited. I just wanted to conclude, and I probably should have done this before, I want to talk what's inside the box itself. I want to talk what's inside the box itself. I do have to have my cheat sheet here. So talking about what's inside the box. Inside the box you will find 14 pens and 3 erasers. The erasers are self-explanatory, right? They are Pentel erasers. They are high polymer eraser. They are super clean in the sense that it produces minimum debris when cleaning up the graphite drawing. So that's super cool. There's also a mechanical pencil. I'm glad to believe that this mechanical pencil is actually one of their best-selling products here in Switzerland. The mechanical pencil is super comfortable to use. It's a plastic, I think it's plastic-based, but super comfortable to use. It's a 0.7 lead, so just the right dimensions, super comfortable. Did I say it's super comfortable? Because that's the main thing that separates this mechanical pencil from others, because it's hexagonal in the shape, so it just rests nicely in your hand. I also added 2 oddball items there. I thought alongside the brush pens and the point liner pens, which are my my go-to, I thought it would be nice to add as a curveball also ballpoint pens. So I added 2 cult objects from the Pentel catalog that I was super happy to see available in the European catalog, which are the ball Pentel with a green body. The green body is just striking. It's a bit different from other traditional pens that you see that have a more grayish tone to them, so just it looks striking from afar. I included the black and the red. The black is for sketching and the red for making corrections, redlining a drawing. So that's the whole idea. And they were a bit surprised when I selected those 2 to the box, but I really wanted to have the flexibility of having a fine liner, a point liner, and also a ballpoint pen. Speaking of point liners, the Pentel point liner my go-to pen ever since I returned from Japan. There I bought a couple of point liners to add to my collection, and I just made essentially what is a travel sketchbook of Japan using point liners from Pentel. So they are super reliable, and I emphasized the need to have multiple sizes, all the way from the thinnest that they have, which is 0.03. Most brands only go up to 0.05. So this is the thinnest that there is, and also all the way to a 0.2. So 0.03, 0.05, 0.1, and 0.2. So you have the full spectrum of line density at your disposal. Incredible pens, really. The other curveball item that I added was the Sign Artist pen. You might remember that I just said this is for lettering, but I added the version that is actually modified to be more for drawing. So if I were to describe it, I would say that it's a mix between the brush pen and the point liner. It's not a thick line like a brush pen, but it's not as thin as the point liner. You can make it super thin, you can make it super thick, so it has that line variation. But yeah, that was also another curveball item that I decided to put there as well, because also it's super reliable to have for airplane trips as well, because you cannot use a brush pen in airplanes because the pressure will change the ink flow and just make the brush pen spill out the ink. So that's something that you can carry with you on an airplane, which is something that happens, and just draw comfortably while your kid sleeps, hopefully, or otherwise you have to play around with the kid as well. And last but not least, I added 4 brush pens. Why 4? First, I added 3 non-pigmented ink brush pens to the package. A black one, which is the standard, a red one for redlining or making corrections to a drawing, and my favorite color in the brush pen set, steel blue. I just love steel blue. The drawing that you are seeing being made of the box is made with a Pentel non-pigmented brush pen steel blue color. I just love the color and the range that it has, and it's why I needed to have it as well in the box set. I also added, as the last product, a pigmented brush pen. Not the pocket brush pen, but the regular size brush pen that is pigmented, meaning that it's waterproof. You can draw with it, and then you can apply watercolor on it. So it's a great tool to have as well if you're more into coloring your drawing. Keep in mind that the regular brush pen, even the one that is non-waterproof, right? It can withstand the alcohol ink. So for example, alcohol markers, no problem. But if you're gonna color using watercolor, you need to use the pigmented brush. The point liner pen is also watercolor proof. You can paint with it using watercolor. So yeah, these are the products inside the brush. We still haven't established, as of recording, the final pricing of the box set, because there's also the margins, right, that needs to be set up. But yeah, I'm super excited. I could just talk on and on about the box. I'll probably make one more video when the box is final, talking about it, so that I have the opportunity to annoy you some more and talk about the box, because I really like talking about the box and talking about pens and talking about brushes. I just love talking about it, and I'm super happy that finally a product with my face on it is going to be made available for people to purchase. Yeah, super happy that we got to this stage. I really want to do more of these. I really want to do more products with Pentel, and I think this is just a start. Hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't, it was a nice experience to have, but hopefully it will go well, because the product is just something that I like, and the products are good. They are reliable. I use them all the time. So yeah, if you want a tremendous selection at a good value of Pentel products that I personally use all the time since way back 2016. If you go to my Instagram, you go all the way back. I was using Pentel, back then, last decade. So yeah, I can reliably say these are tremendous products, some of the best products in drawing, the best brush pen as well. So yeah, just super happy to finally collaborate with Pentel. Keep your eyes peeled for a giveaway of the brush. Definitely there will be giveaways of the box. Sorry, there will be giveaways of the box. Still thinking how to do it, what extras I would include as well to make it cool. One idea, again, the sketches, the prep sketches that led to the final drawing. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled on my social media when the box is made available, when the box is also made available for international purchase as well. So yeah, hope you liked hearing me ramble for a lot of time, and see you on the next video. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye.